Okay, where did we leave off here? It has been several days since I put this together, and yeah, it didn't post. But it did post, but it didn't post. It gave a post beep, but there was no display. It turns out my Vega 64 is randomly, suddenly dead or something. I don't know. It wouldn't put out a display. I checked a bunch of things, power and whatnot, tried different video cards, got this system running, but that card, no idea. And it should be compatible with this rig. That card lived on this motherboard with both a 2700X and I do believe at one point a 3800X. It worked fine. And it worked fine just a couple months ago when I tested it in my main rig. I don't know why it wouldn't work now. I do have a second Vega 64, but it's got just water cooling. I can't find the water block for it. I haven't seen it since I moved into this house. Yeah, so that's not happening. However, knowing that the water block has some thermal capacity to it, I did, momentarily pop her in there, plug her on, fired her up. It did post with the second Vega 64. So what I've been using for the past couple of days is this pupper right here. That is an R9 270 that I found in the garbage. Perhaps I should expedite the posting of that video just to give it context, even though it's just me tearing this thing down, cleaning it up and testing it. And I don't know if it's 100% functional because I have had certain crashes, stalls, gremlins in this system, a DCP watchdog violation, apparently, and we're gonna deal with that today. For one, this is probably my oldest install of Windows that I have running right now, and it's been hacked and slashed a bit. It started off at 1709. It was a cracked version. I let Windows Defender remove the crack to see what would happen, and well, you'll get that little Windows is not activated thing. Other than that, it seemed to work fine, or does it? So that's the first problem. We're gonna be sorting out a fresh install of Windows, and I'm gonna be doing that on this pupper right here. I have a spare SN750 500 gig. We're gonna put that in, pull out the 256 Gen 1 that's in there now. As you can see, I got glowing RAM now that I didn't before. HyperX Fury Beast RGB RAM. I got this on eBay for a song. I already mentioned I ordered this stuff. It's 2666 CL16 apparently. Now, if this is anything like the other Kingston RAM that I used, it should just go to 3200. My other RAM does. 2 sticks of that, we'll see. Even though overclocking is not a priority, I'm all about using good high-speed RAM, but initially I just wanted to get this system up to snuff on the cheap, so buying $40 a 68 gig 2600 seemed like a sweet deal. Now, as far as this pupper right here, I can't even get drivers for it, or there are AMD drivers on the website for Windows 10 for this card, but they won't install on the system. I get an error. More gremlins? Will that change when I refresh install Windows? I will not have any idea because I did a thing. I just straight up bought a new video card. You start off trying to throw together a cheap gaming system, a second gaming system on the cheap out of spare parts, and then, oh, now I'm buying new parts for it. Not sure how well this will match with the 3700X, but this is the 770. This is not even the 750. And I wanted to save some of the unboxing for when I got the camera rolling here. And it's super weird because it has like that rubberized texture, kind of like what you get on some Logitech devices or those kinds of things, which is this gonna rot in a couple of years and get all sticky? I don't know, but it's satiny. It feels freaking super weird, this card. What do we got here? 2 double penetration ports, 3 double penetration ports. That's triple penetration, bud. Triple DP, triple double penetration. Oh boy, that's some orgasmo stuff right there, bud. 1 HDMI, pretty standard for today. That's all right. We got a little box underneath. What's this? Probably fiddly doodads, fiddly A's. What is this? A USB. TF is this for? Where's that on the card? Okay, is this it here? There's a little tiny USB port there. Why does this card need USB? Okay, I'll set that aside. How about a Let's Play? Thank you for choosing Intel Arc Graphics. One of my secondary incentives, it's like, I'm buying a second card, I'm buying another video card. I wasn't just gonna do it for a scrap gaming rig. There's a secondary incentive because this card seems to be well regarded for productivity tasks like video encoding and all that crap. So at some point, what I want to do is I want to test this card on my main rig while video editing and video encoding and see how it compares. Because I have a balls out gaming card in there now that's only marginally faster for encoding than my Vega 64 was, making it almost pointless for that application. My in-editing experience isn't really any different. So it's like, maybe this will improve. Maybe this will be able to render video faster than the 6950 XT. Maybe it has some sort of acceleration that will feel good in the editing program. Why does it look like someone scribbled Sharpie right there? Did this card have frickin' scratches? There's scratches on it. Look at that scratch right there. There's scratches on this card that they just Sharpied over. That's hilarious because this didn't look like it was open boxed. Mind you, the seal sticker came off real easy. Like I was able to peel it off without damaging the box. I suppose someone could have had this card, but I don't see any fingerprints or any other physical damage, just that weirdness right there. Okay, this graphics card is intended to be professionally installed. Take proper electrostatic discharge precautions using proper ground straps. Hot part. Wait approximately 5 minutes after turning off the system to allow the device to cool before handling. It says absolutely nothing. Usually they have like some basic install guide, quick start kind of dealy. There is nothing else unless, is there something hiding? No, like there's nothing else in here. I guess I have to go online to find out what that USB is about. Okay, well, let's tear into this thing, right? Look at this guy. Did you just look at that? Frickin' dinosaur, bud. It is now. 2012 card, Windows 7 era card. We gotta go take all these heat sinks out here, peel this back. Oh yeah. And a fifth screw, 5 screws to change one SSD. Mind you, that's not far off from changing an old spin drive though, right? Pro tip, if your screwdriver's not magnetic enough, I just snap an end-die magnet next to it. You know, that 500 gig SN7 might be original to this build too. Hold on, I need a bit more light. All right, SSD's in place. Now let's slap this not so Slim Jim in there. Ooh. All right, so we got some 8-pin power, right? Oh, we got it. They keep flip-flopping the connectors on these video cards. These cables are I'm gonna have a twist. Okay, I think you know what I'm trying to say here. It's just my mind's badargableba. 225 watt cards, which puts it less TDP than the Vega 64, but based on some, quick benchmarks I looked at, it's potentially stronger than the Vega 64. That's assuming whatever game you're playing is supported, because that's a thing. Not all games run nice with this card, apparently. Okay, well, it's on there now. Let's check to see if it at least posts. Come on, bud, be a poster boy. Okay, there you have it in all its glareful glory. This is farther than I got with the Vega 64. Now, the next little portion of this exercise is going to be not worth filming because it essentially just entails me installing Windows 10. The RGB is so bright it's glaring in the screen, bud. These fans kind of throw off the feng shui, but current input is not supported. Well, I don't have the ability to adjust on that, so I sure hope that this card is smart enough to sort that out. We're not going to get frickin' effed in the A over a screen resolution conflict, are we? Is this card not able to detect the resolution of this screen and properly adjust it? Sounds to me like the frickin' Windows program's gone and booted up here, but is assuming I have a more appropriate monitor, which I do not. This is annoying. That is one strange funny fact about me. The only 1080p monitor that I have is an LCD TV in my bedroom. This is a strange pickle. It sucks because I have a frick ton of monitors, but just, here's an old Sammy widescreen. Maybe it's just a widescreen resolution issue. Maybe there's a widescreen resolution it'll support. I was not expecting to spend this much time just trying to get an image on a monitor. Now, of course, I'm doing stuff a little non-standard, but I've never had this happen before. Okay, yeah, it's obviously not getting the signal it wants. Okay, it looks like it works on this monitor, though not very well. Okay, what happens if we just straight up restart this fucking thing? Let it redetect the monitor. I've never had this happen with an AMD card. Usually all cards will support a wider range of resolutions. And I get that once drivers installed, they'll do that, but post screens, like the screen that I have upstairs that I plug this computer into is not 1080p. That's interesting. You don't get static on frickin' computer screens very often. Hold up. But this might be where some of Intel's inexperience shows, being new to the card market, not thinking that, oh, maybe there's going to be more than just frickin' 1080p screens or 1440 or 4K. Fortunately, it seems to have detected this screen. Okay, so we're out of the frickin' back into the butt. So at this point, I'm going to pause my cameras because I'm sure you don't need to watch me install Windows. Okay, so I got this guy pretty much where I feel it needs to be. Got Windows installed, I ran all the updates, I installed the chipset drivers. Pop into Device Manager here. So we have a high definition audio device. I'm gonna guess that's something to do with the card. The digital outputs and video cards, as you know, have sound. Everything else seems to be good. Under display adapters, you can see it's just Microsoft Basic. So everything should be just kosher. Let's see how the driver install process for this card is gonna go. Intel Arc Graphics Overviews. Sport. Do I go download Stenter? Search drivers. I should have to. Just go graphics. Come on now. Intel, I know my internet connection's good. What are you trying to pull here? So our first foray installing these drivers going to be like the web page doesn't even load. Intel Arc drivers. Graphics drivers. Okay, if I go through Google, I get there faster. Is that what you're saying? Beta. I don't really want beta. Latest certified game on drivers. Okay, download here. Oh, look at this. There's a list. GFX Win blah, 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 for all these 22H2. I think that's what I have currently. How does that work again? Run. WinVer 22H2. Yeah, okay. Download. Every now and then when the computer restarts, I don't get display. That's the only weird thing that's happened. But then if I shut down, if I press the button, it shuts down. And then I frickin' press the button again and then it starts up fine. So it's just like, okay, that's weird. Let's give this a rip, bud. Install the drivers. Extracting. Okay, fancy screen, bud. Begin installation. I don't know what all this means. Hopefully they're not going to try to sew me to someone's ass because I have no choice but to agree, do I? Can you go disagree and still get the benefits of the driver support? Customize. What happens if I do that? Driver support assistance. I don't think I need to bother with a clean installation because this is a fresh install of Windows. I guess we're gonna go for Arc Control. I guess we'll see what that support assistant is. It's probably just like a little crap that runs in the background being like, hey, bud, there's a freaking update, bud. Maybe you want to take a look at that there. Maybe it'll make your system run better, which might be a good idea because I hear the drivers are consistently improving on this card. And of course, how much you want to bet it's doing that thing where it's downloading. No, there's no internet activity. That's what happens. You download the driver and it's really just a little app that goes on the internet and downloads the driver. Enabling resizable bar. Is that even something that works on this older system? Oh, I wasn't paying attention, so I didn't have a chance to read it. Hopefully that screen comes back and we don't find out these drivers don't support this resolution. I'm getting a thing where it's blinking between red and blue here at the bottom of the screen. I don't like that. That's what it was doing when I lost visuals before. You know, if this process is gonna nibble at my scrotum like that, I can't give them full fault because I'm using non-standard monitors. But then I can also call them on and be like, dude, I'm getting black screens installing drivers. Why you no have resolution support? Yeah, I think that's exactly what's going on here today, bud. It should be back by now. Are we gonna have to start jumping all over this ass? Ugh, I unplugged and replugged the monitor. Frickin' guys. Reboot recommended. Okay, make sure you frickin'... What do you mean I'm about to be signed out? I've never seen that before in just a normal restart process. The Republic of Gamers. Oh, are you doing that again? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. No display. Okay, well, now we're getting display. See, hopefully that's not a problem under normal circumstances. I don't have to double boot this damn thing every time. Even though this is a while... That's not pleasing me. And there we go, the screen turns off. What the Yes, I know I'm using non-standard screens, but this isn't how things work. This has never happened with any AMD card. They always just worked with whatever frickin' monitor, as long as it's a computer monitor. And this isn't even like I'm trying to do some weird VGA conversion, bud. These are digital inputs. Okay, let's try the old unplug it and plug it back in again. So it redetects the resolution. Oh, that's fun. Do we have to do that all the time now? The screen already looks like it's displaying better, so yeah, it's recognizing 1440 by 900. So this is 1440 this way. Intel ARC control, ARC 12 a.m. If my computer's on at midnight, chances are I'm gonna be using it. I don't know, we'll see. GAMS, no GAMS installed. Performance tuning. configure. I don't really care to do anything of this type. I'm not interested in overclocking this thing. Studio, what's all this? Oh, this is built-in capture. All these freaking drivers have like built-in capture now. Broadcast, capture, highlights, camera. There's no camera installed. Okay, so there's not much to see in here really. In-game overlay. Oh, okay, well that could be handy. That seems to be par for the course now. Everybody's got that. No reason why they shouldn't. Give me okay, so this is the preferences to select what we're gonna see. So like maybe some of this crap we don't care about, like effective frequency. VRAM effective frequency is in gigatransfers. Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, half this crap we don't really care about. So preferences, overlay position, overlay transparency, no overlay size. Like that's a bit small. I guess you want transparency. We don't need it to be huge, but maybe we want it a bit more beefy there. Oh, there's some buttons up here. Customize your menu. Search, looking for, and then system info, technical support, performance. Where's this resizable bar they keep talking about? Or is that just something that we can't use because I don't support it? I guess I'll have to look into what that is. What programs do I need on here? I'm gonna throw an OBS in here because that's kind of like one question that a lot of people might have for a gaming application computer. I gotta do something about these damn pop-ups though. Oh, I didn't install AI Suite yet. I should have done that before OBS. Sometimes I like to install programs in a certain order so that they sit in the drive in a certain order, what's going to be modified more often. But then that's an old defrag mentality, not necessarily applicable anymore. Okay, so we have the OBS. Let's add ourselves a display capture. Settings, video, set everything to do 1080p, apply, that's fine. We just scale this to match. Now also in the settings somewhere, output, okay, here we are, recording. They seem to like MKV except for AV1. Which one of these is AV1? We probably don't have it yet. I have to go MP4 if I'm gonna edit because my editor program doesn't support MKV. However, MKV is good for like not breaking up the file if the computer, like I've literally had a computer like semi-crash and then once it like unstalls, there'll be a gap in the file where it's just like one frame just gets stuck. But it won't break the file and won't get corrupt. We'll go high quality, medium file size, probably good enough. Video encoder. Hardware, QSV AV1, is this the pupper that we're talking about? That's the miracle? Because we have H.264 and we have AV1 now. Let's apply and now let's start recording. And it's recording. Let's check our task manager, our prefimits. Our Intel Arc is burning at, whoa, 43%. It takes that much overhead to friggin', well, no, we got video decode, we got 3D, we got copy, video decode 1. Where's video encode? Let's check all these guys. Video processing, GDI render, I guess nod lost, legacy overlay, engine 8, engine 7, GSC, compute, video processing, video decode, video. Okay, so there's no thing here called video encode. But yeah, 42%. Okay, let's stop recording. Let's go to settings. Let's just put it on H.264, see what that looks like. Because I don't know that there's a lot of advantage to AV1 yet. I don't know if anyone supports it. Less overhead. So far, we're only, oh wait, it just jumped up to 50% again. Okay, so it's using the same amount of resources here. But indeed, our CPU resources are frig all. So now, how dependent on that is has to do with the file size. Even though the bigger the file size, usually the less compression, less processing. So let's go indistinguishable quality, large file size. Let's try AV1 again. Start the recording. Now what's Task Manager have to say? Starts off 14, 13%, starts off low, but then you see it jumps after a couple minutes. So we'll see. Well, a couple seconds. Oh, there we go. Yeah, 40%. 40%. So does that mean I'll use 80% GPU if, say, you were recording and streaming at the same time and you were using hardware encoding for both? And then how much overhead do we have left for video? Now, mind you, they're in different spots. We're using a lot of copy, which I believe is a memory thing, not a lot of 3D. I got the 16 gig card, so I got a lot of video memory. Part of the reasons why I chose this card was apparently they make a water block for it. I could have gotten like, there's a new Acer card. But here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go into settings. We're gonna go into output. We're gonna switch back to software, proper software. Under undistinguishable large file size, okay, start recording, okay? I guess this is what I'm talking about. Look at them numbers. We're using 9% of the ARC GPU. There's still some 3D going on here, but only 4% of the CPU. So for encoding streams, it almost seems freaking pointless if it's going to use 40% of the card when it's only going to use 4% of the CPU. Because an 8-core, you don't need an 8-core 16-thread CPU to play a lot of games. So it's like, where do you want to allot your overhead? It almost doesn't make sense. I guess I'll find out in practice, but I think we're done here. I should probably get VLC popped in here so I can play back some of this. That reminds me, I'm gonna install the ASIOC suite, so I wanna be able to do all that goodness. Hopefully that doesn't freak out my system. Oh, on that note, it turns out that USB cable is for RGB, so you can control, I touched the fan, so that you control the RGB on the card. Right now it's blue with a streak of purple that goes by. I don't think I'm gonna bother with that. I definitely am not gonna bother with Armory Crate. I think I'm just gonna go with the unicorn vomit aesthetic. So let it do its thing. It did it again. We better not be living in a world where I have to unplug and replug my monitor every frickin' time I restart my computer. What's this about resizable bar? Resizable, but must be enabled. Okay, so it's telling me, okay, Intel, why couldn't I click on that message to do resizable bar? Oh, this crap. I gotta, for f***'s sakes. I gotta make this crap go away. Okay, can you like maybe show me the menus where I can, what the, get back here. What, get frickin' settings. What is this setting that makes it go away? Bud, can you? That does nothing. There it is, mini bar. Get rid of that frickin' mini bar. I don't think you even saw what I did. You know what? These fans are ripping pretty slow though. Usually I get this up here so I can tune my fans, but the fans feel decent right now. 37. Oh, that's the coolest I've seen this. Oh, no, 46. I'm gonna do this on my own time because this is a new unfamiliar build, so tuning the fans could take time. Okay, we have VLC. Oh, okay, here's our screen capture. That's fun. I think this one's higher quality. Hard to tell. Now we're gonna do a restart because restarting was being a pain in the arse. So we got our boot screen. That's popping up. That shouldn't be popping up. And now the monitor's gone to sleep. Unplug, replug the monitor. Oh, click on the resizable bar notice. Nothing, can't, okay. Check the bell icon on the top left. Go to the Intel Arc control and check the bell icon. And okay, we gotta click here and it opens a freaking web page. This platform is not supported. This is a 400 series motherboard with smart access memory enabled. Oh, I'll tell you what I think once I've like figured out steps to enable resizable bar. Go into the BIOS. Compatibility support module, above 4G decoding and resizable bar support. So we got to search for something in there. I want to reboot this into BIOS anyway to check something out. So I wanted to go into here. We're running DOHCP, but what I wanted to do for the memory is I wanted to go to just 3200, bring the DRAM voltage up to 1.35, and then if we go into DRAM timing control, 16, 18, 18, 39. Well, I've had it running at 36, bud, but that should do it. Let's see if this dirty RAM overclock's gonna work. Test 6 and 8. Quick and dirty overclock testing in mem test. If it passes 6 or an 8, it's gonna be okay. I'll do it a little bit further, but so yeah, we passed that test. I think that means we're gonna be okay. Just like my other HyperX RAM. It just goes to 3200 CL16. No screwing around. All we have to do is bump it up to 1.35 volts. And of course, again, on a restart, I'm not getting display output. The other thing that I wanted to do, compatibility support module. I got all this legacy support stuff here. Yeah, I don't see anything like that in here. Above 4D decoding enabled, resizable bar support auto. Okay, I recently updated the BIOS on this board, so maybe that's a thing. Here it is telling me, it just gave me the resizable bar frickin' notice again. I turned on resizable bar, maybe it's just not properly supported. Are we gonna be chasing this dragon now? Okay, let's click that frickin' web page again. Oh, my mind was all remembering stuff wrong. UEFI boot mode must be enabled. Compatibility, boot device control, boot, UEFI only. So is that it? Is that what we need to do? Wait, why did you go back into here? That's suspicious. What? Why aren't you booting? Huh? Where's my frickin' drive all of a sudden, bud? Did we have to have that enabled before we installed Windows? I'm not reinstalling Windows. Oh, let's see if Startup Repair does anything. Of course not. Startup Prepare never actually works for all. You know it, I know it. It's like I turn on this UEFI mode and all of a sudden my hard drive, my SSD disappears. How does that make any sense? Partition style MBR? Shouldn't it be GPT? I don't even have the option to convert to GPT disk. Is it update and security, recovery, advanced startup, restart now, core tutorials, troubleshoot, advanced options, command prompt. You know, I just assumed it would make it a GPT disk, but then I just let Windows auto do stuff. Maybe we're supposed to not let it auto do stuff. Please wait. Am I gonna have to unplug the monitor again? No, looks like it's just gonna give her. Forgot your there is no password. Hi Jupiter, there is no password. Okay, so MBR to GPT, MBR to GPT / validate. Okay, it found it. MBR to GPT convert. We'll now attempt to convert the default book disk. If the conversion is successful, the disk can only be booted in GPT mode. These changes cannot be undone. Attempting to convert disk, retrieving layout, validate, trying to shrink, creating EFI system partition, installing new boot files, performing layout conversion, migrating default boot entry, adding recovery boot entry, fixing drive letter mapping, conversion completed successfully. Okay. Call win repair to repair win failed to update reagent XML. Please manually disable. Before the new system can boot properly, you need to switch firmware to EUIFI mode. I'm okay with that. That's what we're trying to do here. Okay, turn it on. Sing a song. Compatibility support module. We'll just go all the UEFIs. Secure boot, type, Windows UEFI mode. Okay, are we done here? Like it says right there, Resize Bar support. Wait, disable compatibility support module support. It says down there, launch CSM, disable. Okay, that's what it says right there at the BIOS. Hopefully that's a glitch with just this screen. This screen is from the early mid-2000s. This screen's old as frig. I'll forgive this card for not liking this in particular screen. The screen upstairs, I think, is newer. Okay, now. Oh, it didn't give the dipper. I still don't want to see those frickin' things every frickin' time that I log on. No notifications at this time. I guess it's turned on. What's next for us in this comedy? Like, I'm guessing I should hammer a Steam on here and try like a benchmark or two just to see what happens. It's frickin' dinner time now though, I gotta give it a rest. Call win repair to repair win